The action of the movie gets underway on the coast. In this scene, a young woman is seen snorkeling and swimming in the ocean. After seeing what she was doing, the nuns forbade her to continue in that manner. They are also making an effort to stop her. The name of this young lady is mentioned here. Marie is her name, and she spends every day of her life participating in such pointless activities. So she also gets punishment. Actually, Marie is the daughter of the France king named Louis. Marie's father Louis was a self-obsessed man. He himself did not bring his daughter up but gave her to a priest. So nuns used to take care of her from that time. After it, the city's side is shown, where King Louis returns back to France after winning a great war. A man sent by his rivals shoots him with a gun in the victory celebration. King Louis is confirmed on this. No matter how much power he gains, but he will remain a human being. As a human, he is also immortal. But King's physician says to him, "You will have to catch mermaid to get immortality." He says, "I can make you immortal with the power of mermaid." So King dispatches his special fisherman amid of the ocean to catch the mermaid. And this fisherman's captain name is Eve. He becomes successful to capture a couple of mermaid and merman. But they just wanted mermaid. So he sends merman into the sea again, commanding his group. He himself returns to the palace, taking that mermaid. Louis becomes so excited, getting this news. But his priest remains unsatisfied on this. Because he was considering such act as a crime or nothing else. But nothing was affecting on Doctor. Rather, he had a belief that he will turn the king into immortal on the solar eclipse day through mermaid's heart. Priest also asks him to carry his daughter into the palace. Then king agrees with the priest. And the priest reaches there to carry Marie. Going there, he comes to know that Marie is a best musician. Priest brings Marie into the place later. It is the first time that she has glimpsed palace, so she was so shocked and happy, seeing all. But King Louis still remains its secret before the world as Marie is his bloodline. So priest sends Marie into a small room with a maid. Marie's maid is making her a visit of the whole palace there. Everyone was watching Marie with the doubtful eyes. Some people were also laughing at her because she was the stranger at this time. She had come here as a guest. And no one had knowledge why she was brought into the king's palace. Marie is observing the fountain, going near to this. Meanwhile, King Louis comes there. Being confused, Marie falls into the water. As a king's daughter, so the king makes her put on his coat. Then that Captain Eve is seen who reaches the place, taking that mermaid. And king was becoming so lunatic of being immortal. He only hears the words of the doctor, not the priest. He only thinks the doctor's advice is best. Afterwards, when king goes to see mermaid, then he knows that mermaid's condition is worst. Because she was so frightened and confused. Neither she was taking food not coming on the surface of the water. Then that doctor tells, it is compulsory for this mermaid to stay alive till the solar eclipse. Otherwise, it will never be happened what we are wanting. We will never be able to fulfill our mission. They will have to make mermaid eat something in some way while keeping her alive. Louis threatens the doctor saying, "You will take care of the mermaid. Otherwise, you will face the dire circumstances." Marie is seen in the room who is practicing music. But she feels as someone is calling her to him. Through a voice. So she begins to chase that voice. Following the voice, she reaches that cave where they had imprisoned the mermaid. That mermaid comes outside, seeing Marie. Marie tries to talk with mermaid. At the same time, that fisherman Captain Eve and he shows his anger on Marie too much. He asks him, "Why did you come here and how?" "Don't move to mermaid." Then Marie declares that I did not come here according to my will. But mermaid herself has called me here, hearing the sound of my music. Captain Eve is left astonished, hearing her. Next day, it is seen when Marie is playing the same music. Then that music is also liked so much by Louis. So he commands priest, bring Marie quickly in the palace hall. All people are staring at her when Marie is brought into the palace. Now King Louis is also staring at her daughter. He still does not expose before the people that Marie is my daughter. Later, he begins to teach her dancing. Then he starts seeing his wife in the face of her daughter. Observing this, King Louis is so shocked and stopped. It is seen later that Marie used to spend much of her time with mermaid. Due to this, Mermaid's health condition is also restored now. During this time, Marie and Captain Eve become friends. They develop intimacy. One day, Doctor observes all, so he starts his further planning. Louis accompanies her daughter to the same garden, where he used to draw the sketches of his wife or Marie's mother. Now Louis was also trying to understand her, spending much time with his daughter. There is also a guest in King's palace who was a great businessman of France. Now King helps that guest and owns his father's property to him. That guest glimpses Marie when the king is proclaiming it before everyone, but Marie was looking at Eve. Then that guest feels so envious. He dislikes this at all that Marie has started to like Eve. It is known here that guest had also liking for Marie. So a controversy is started between that guest and Eve at night. Then Marie is seen who comes back to the mermaid again. At this time, she also touches the mermaid, moving into the water. Mermaid had also liking for Marie and she had a trust on her, that she cannot harm at any cost. Meanwhile, Eve also approaches there. He stops Marie of doing this, because it may prove so harmful for her. But Marie does not come out of the water, ignoring him. But Eve brings Marie out of the water forcefully. Marie goes outside with Eve on the coming day, riding on a horse. They are racing in the forest. Suddenly, Marie gets wounded while falling down from horse. And her one of the arms is badly fractured. Doctor suggests after diagnosing the problem of her arm, we will have dissect her arm. But Marie is so disturbed. She did not want to do as such. Because he has belief in God that he will reform her. And he will never let her afflict. So Louis says to the doctor, you will not do as such right now. You will have to wait till night. Mermaid is seen at night who wants to talk with Eve. And she requests to bring Marie to her. And Eve also understands her. What she is wanting to say. And he also does the same, he immediately brings Marie to the mermaid. He sends her into the water after taking her to the mermaid. Mermaid begins to enchant Marie, swimming around Marie. As a result, Marie is fully recovered. Actually, Mermaid had the power to recover every wound. All people are left shocked on the coming day, seeing Marie fully recovered. She tells the doctor and the priest about the whole incident occurred last night. Hearing this, doctor is affirmed on his words. It means, to kill the mermaid. But they all tell a lie to Marie. That they have brought Mermaid to cure the diseased French people. Marie also thinks as they will release Mermaid after doing as such. Later, Marie knows through Eve that Mermaid is not brought for the French people but for King. It remains incomprehensible for Marie. Then they both start talking. Marie asks Eve, why do you hate that guest? Eve tells, because he had imprisoned me after putting a blame of theft on me. Then Eve shows a very charming side to Marie. They were creating intimacy with each other gradually. Marie says to Eve here, it is my wish that you may release that mermaid as soon as possible. King Louis is seen in the palace there who tells the guest while calling to him, that Marie is my daughter. And he asks that guest to marry Marie. Now that guest has already the affections for Marie, so he quickly agrees with this. But the priest still does not like this decision of the king. He suggests to King Louis, you should ask the will of Marie at least for one time. But it does not affect King as Marie is willing for this marriage or not. Priest says to Louis after being aggressive, she is your daughter. You should not be so self-obsessed because this action may make you a good king, but not a good human being. On the other side, Marie again goes to meet the mermaid. And mermaid makes her swim in the water, letting her sit on her. Marie enjoys a lot through this. When Marie comes out of the water, then King Louis calls her to him where he reveals her the secret that, you are my daughter. He also gifts her a locket. There is a stuck photo of her mother in this. King Louis says to Marie that, you resemble your mother. Otherwise, your nature is also same like your mother. She also never heard a command of anyone. Further, the king tells that, I am self-obsessed person. In fact, your mother had died at that time, when you came into life. But I could not bring you up alone. So I had left you while trusting the priest. Because I could not manage this kingdom with you. Further, he tell that France's financial condition is not sound right now. If I get you married with that guest, then his all money will be got by us. Marie's heart is broken, hearing this. Being angry with her father, she leaves away. But the angry attitude of Marie was not affecting Louis even to an extent. Marie leaves that place while weeping. Contrarily, the priest is seen who goes to the mermaid. He was disliking the injustice and the cruelty occurring with the mermaid. So he attempts to explain the doctor, moving to him. But the doctor was possessed, so he does not focus on his single word. He gets him out of that place, saying ill for him. Marie is seen there who is trying to escape from her room. But King Louis had assigned the guards at her doorstep to keep an eye on her. So she goes to meet Mermaid through the window, where Mermaid shows her the past time with his power of showing visions. How that Eve had caught her and her family. But Marie notices during this time that Eve is good by heart. And he was not acting as such according to his will but under the compulsion. Now priest worries, seeing this, as King Louis is losing his senses for being immortal. So he tries to explain the king. When king does not give an ear to the priest, then priest moves away, leaving his job. On the other side, Eve with his friend was trying to know about the plan of the doctor. Because he had also no knowledge, what this doctor is going to do with this mermaid. When Eve knows that it is the part of doctor's plan to kill that mermaid, then he goes near Marie's room to inform her. But the doctor captures him, coming there, and he also imprisons him. When Marie returns to her room, then she receives the message of Eve there. And the whole secret is also exposed before her. She becomes so aggressive that she quickly moves to her father King Louis. But Louis had turned into a beast from the human being, and he has no care of anyone. He only cared himself, as he may remain the king of France forever after being immortal. So he sends Marie to get ready for the marriage. When Eve knows that Marie's marriage is going to be held, then he thinks, there is perhaps the will of Marie in this. So he decides to carry out the command of the king now. Contrarily, priest moves to Marie's room and gets ready to help her. Priest says to Marie, "You will have to move outside, wearing the bridal dress." Taking the action by Marie. He makes Marie free, avoiding her from the soldiers. Now Marie reaches Mermaid while running. But reaching there, she notices that Eve is trying to bring the mermaid out of the water. Marie expresses herself to Eve, "I have liking for you." She says, "We will both marry later if I release Mermaid from here at once. After this, we will spend the same life which we have dreamed." Eve orders his companions, hearing this, get ready the ship. He himself begins to plan to bring Mermaid to the other side of the bridge. It means, where a mermaid moves into the water easily. But it was not a child's play. Doctor detects about the escaping of Mermaid. For this, he reaches the cave and his fight is held with Eve reaching there. Eve receives a gunshot during that fight. Marie begins to cooperate with Doctor in fight while saying to Mermaid to run with Eve. She hangs Doctor topsy-turvy while tying him with the ropes. For this, Mermaid also runs away, taking Eve. Marie also moves away, riding on the horse. King Louis is seen in the palace, who was waiting for Marie's wedding in the palace. Then he knows that Marie has fled. So he quickly runs away with his soldier in search of Marie. Mermaid also recovers Eve properly on the way. In the same way, as she had recovered Marie before. After this, Marie climbs up a high mountain. She is going to jump from there, then King Louis with his soldiers instantly reaches there. He forbids Marie of doing so. He also tries to stop her. Then Marie notices Eve and Mermaid, jumping into the sea. Marie places an option before her father here. That you will have to choose one, either Mermaid or your daughter. I will jump into the water from here. Later, Mermaid will recover me. You will also lose your daughter if you kill that mermaid. Marie jumps into the water here. King's soldiers had seated while targeting the mermaid here. But the king's conscience is awakened now. He changes his decision and stops his soldiers with gesture. Then Mermaid moves to Marie, noticing the safe zone. And she recovers her with her magic so soon. Marie and Eve board the ship as Marie is recovered. The king was also observing both, standing on the top of the mountain there. Then it is seen that they both are amid of the sea to release Mermaid. Marie jumps into the water there, where she meets with Mermaid and her family. Mermaid again swims the whole sea, making her sit on her back. It is observed here that Mermaid's sea world is so charming here. Marie is enjoying a lot of the swimming of sea.